It's time for Hammers, and it's time for Jurassic World, one of the summer blockbusters, to hit the big screen this weekend.
Yes, 22 years after Steven Spielberg's original, which was definitely ahead of its time, the park is open once again. And when will the humans learn? Probably not a good idea to clone those pesky dinosaurs.
Somebody talk to me! What is happening?
And of course they're going to clone those dinosaurs. Hollywood needs to make another blockbuster movie. Listen, you said 22 years after.
Yeah.
And yes, this movie 22 years ago was so visually appealing. It had a great deal of suspense. What can it possibly offer this time around that tops that sense of escapism we had 2 decades back?
Well, they go bigger and bolder and more dinosaurs. You see that Indominus Rex that's chasing him in the clip. That's a genetic hybrid, so they're able to sort of create their own dinosaur this time. And because of CGI and the state of modern digital effects, they can make the dinosaurs now do whatever they want. Whereas in Spielberg's first one, they were bound by early CGI and practical effects where they actually built the dinosaurs courtesy of Stan Winston, the late great effects master. So they were restrained with what they could do. Now, it's pretty much open season. And the result of that is a lot of campy fun in this one, although I wouldn't take little kids to it because there is still a lot of dino carnage, as you can see illustrated here. But other than that, there's not a lot of depth. When it comes to the characterization and the script, this is a very simple, superficial story, and I was looking for a little more emotion. Like the first one, when I saw it, I was moved. You know, it was breathtaking. It was like a horror thriller. This is just purely a popcorn flick.
And you know, we mentioned earlier, $150 million to make this movie. You do have star power in this. Chris Pratt is essentially the it guy in Hollywood. Will this movie hurt him or help him with building the brand?
Honestly, I don't think this will do much for Chris Pratt, other than put him in the biggest movie of the summer, arguably. The dinosaurs are the real stars here, the CG creations, because Pratt, his character, he doesn't have a chance to be funny and wisecracking like in Guardians of the Galaxy, because he's the alarmist here. He's the one that was sort of finger wagging and saying, "I told you shouldn't have cloned those dinosaurs." Meanwhile, he's sort of training the raptors, which, don't get me started, is a whole other ludicrous plot line. So it's definitely not gonna, I don't think, bump his star power up anymore. The other thing too is Bryce Dallas Howard's character was very thin, so there wasn't a lot of strong female roles in this film. And like I mentioned before, I needed a little more to chew on when it came to the actual story and depths, because it's very action-packed. You know, it satisfies on that level, and it's very silly at times. And there are a lot of great nods to the original, even the other ones, because it is a continuation. They do reference like things that happened from the first one, so not strictly a reboot. But I was looking for a little bit more. I needed that Spielberg magic.
And you know, it seems fans always are flocking to recognizable franchises, given the fact it's $150 million to make. Do you think we're going to see the same in a big box office haul this weekend? Oh
yeah, it's going to be breaking some records this weekend because a lot of people flocking to the franchise. They love dinos on screen. It's got that perfect summer formula, but wasn't quite enough for me to genuinely love it. And it didn't speak to that the inner child in me that was so fond of Spielberg's first one.
Drop the hammers. How many?
I'm going a middle of the road 3 out of 5.
Okay.
Still recommend it. See it on a big screen, but man, I was still yearning for the first one.
Enormous expectations given what we saw 22 years ago. Thanks for the review. Check it out this weekend. Let us know what you think about it.